All right, greetings. We are playing some Magic Realm. This is the custom character carnival. I need another C word essentially too. So we have the Barrow Wight modified. I modified the Barrow Wight. I was unhappy with him the first time I played him, or not the last time I played him. And so I modified him. The modifications are as follows. I removed one of his M4 chits and his Type 7 chit, and I made his magic 4, 5, 6, and 8. I thought 8 was more thematic for a white. And I gave him the Type 4 chit so that he could actually make purple magic, because there were so few actual spells he could touch. I feel that this gives him a little bit more sort of action, including, I think, a thematic Melt into Mist, because I do believe that Melt into Mist is sort of weirdly thematic for a white, right? So I wanted to give him access to Melt into Mist. So he's also sort of a medium fighter, and you can see he can do M star damage. So he can kill heavy things, but not heavy armored. That's sort of the bit, right? He just can't do it. So he's a little bit of a rough haul, I feel. We're going to use, and we're going to try deal with goblins. Hire the goblins. You have to hire them in a group. So you have 6 of them. It's $6. Now you're only neutral. That sort of sucks. So it's either 18 or $24 to hire the group of goblins. We'll see if we can make that work. The second character is the Warlock. And the Warlock is, I call him the functional magician. Because effectively he has everything but Type 3 and Type 7 magic. But he has paired chits. So he has Type 2 chits paired, he has Type 4 chits paired, and Type 5 chits paired. So a lot of good magic here. I probably went dull with him. I did Melt into Mist. And again, maybe, it's a really good spell. Although maybe that's not a good idea with the number of spellcasters we have. The chance of everything starting to get enchanted actually gets pretty high. So maybe, just maybe, we should consider either not Melt into Mist, or maybe he takes Type. I took the Type 8 Rumors because I thought that was actually a pretty good spell for however many times we get caught with quests that are terrible. I thought, well, that might be something to consider. The other thing we might consider then is Remedy, break 1 spell or curse to break Melt into Mist. For our attack spell, I'll consider that. For our attack spell, I chose Drain Life. The idea being that we have a time 3 attack. Kill Tremendous. Resting is going to be a big problem for us generally. We're going to have a lot of fatigued chits. So that's sort of where I was going. Yeah, let's ditch Rumors. Let's take Remedy instead. And then I do have to sort of flip chits here, right? So he has to flip that one and that one, and he uses these 2 for his spells. He's going to flip one of these. Both of these. Oh man, that is not cool. Okay, hold on. I have a purple back. There we go. Okay. We could flip both of these if we wanted to. One of those. These two obviously stay unflipped. I know it's confusing with the symbols. We obviously got some of these chits from other characters' copies and so on. So, oh well, keep that in mind. But that's our Warlock. Now we have the Goblin. Goblin's our big fighter. Now, mind you, he's not quite heavy enough, right? He can do 8-star damage. He can kill tremendous monsters, but not tremendous and armored. That's sort of where we're at. But he does have two buddies, his two other goblins, and he can kill bigger things, but you gotta be careful because he's not that fast. So we got the White Witch, and the White Witch is like an uber pilgrim, right? With also some gold magic. She also has, in my opinion, great fight and move chits. So I did go with Small Blessing because I thought that actually would be super useful for her in this case because she can do tremendous damage at a time too. There's nothing to that. The other thing is Persuade. Now I'm not sold on Persuade generally, to be honest with you. That's great. Friendlies are, right, but she actually has some of the best allies already in the game. But what this allows us to do is if she goes into a dwelling like the inn or the house, she can cast Persuade if she needs to, pacify those guys, and then deal with them the next day. And Control Bats is just a great spell. And I figured, we're gonna hope to find the bats out and about, and then use them to fly around. They are our mobility. So we're gonna start in the chapel. Gonna have 2 gold ready to go. These I'm gonna keep out, strangely enough. And because I'm gonna try to cast Small Blessing. I'm gonna do it in the chapel, of course. Now her powers are great. I know that's hard to read because it's because my when I made the card, it didn't scale very well the image. Extra phase in caves, unaffected by curses or demon or imps. Similarly, the Goblin has caves. 1 die, so he's like Uber Dwarf a little bit. The Warlock has the very simple, like, he gets an extra spell phase and read runes. And then this guy, no one likes him. He adds 1 to all meeting tables, so he doesn't want to meet anybody. He can walk the woods every 7th day. That's huge. And an extra phase in caves. So a lot of extra phases in caves here. Oh, we have 3 characters that have caves in their blood. So it should be interesting. I always like the custom characters because they are very wacky to play. Let's deal out our quest cards here. And they do offer sort of a different vibe. And they're a little, I would say, less balanced. I mean, they're not terribly balanced. I would say the guys that make these actually do a reasonable job keeping everything sort of in ship. So, huh. So this actually is not terrible. Find bow in flutter. A light bow for him. Now, mind you, he's got to do the missile thing, so it sort of sucks. But that light bow doing heavy damage at base isn't terrible. Because again, remember, the best we can do is M-star damage. And with that weapon, and frankly, the best we can do is M-star damage, even if we get a medium weapon. There is no better weapon for us to some degree. So, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. So, Fine Bow, Danger Sense. This is sort of pointless since we do not have attack spells. And then Happy Camper is actually just, we'll just say find large camp. That way you know what the hell's going on, other than looking at happy camper all day. Do I keep now the medium bow would be actually even better for this guy because that medium bow, but that's not what you find. I'm gonna keep fine bow and I'm gonna ditch the danger sense. And then the question is, are we anywhere near the woods? There's one woods there. There's two woods there, and then a third woods there. Actually, he is close to woods, so I'm gonna leave him with this. Does he actually like anybody in the woods? No, he is unhappy with everybody. He is at least neutral to the bash cars, so we'll give him that much. Um, but man, everyone hates this dude. So he's gonna ditch Danger Sense just cause might as well get the quest card now. And he actually finds Tiny Hut. Take any visitor not on the board. Which reminds me, let's get our visitors going here. And sure. Give them just a little bit of a size enlarge boost here. Is there anyone he doesn't just absolutely despise? The crone, right? Yes, he's allies with the crone. So he's going to put the crone. Where can he put her? In a valley clearing of your choice. Well, I'll put the crone there. That way we don't have to deal with the ghosts when we do that. And then I'll just flip this card. Well, we won't give him another card. So there you go. So he has got rid of that. And he has Happy Camper and Fine Bow right now. So he has one, um, you know, not yet utilized card. Done. So he's got his cards for the beginning of the game. The Warlock has Pilgrimage, Dragon Slayer, and Spellmaster. Well, Pilgrimage is going to take him to the chapel. Then he just has to find one more of those guys. Sure. He'll take it. I'll definitely keep Spellmaster for the time being. Kill Dragon? I mean, we can. We have the we do have the ability to do that in this with Drain Life. So I mean, maybe we just go for it, right? All right. Goblin. So I'm gonna keep those. The Goblin has a white source, which he's gonna just toss. Troll Slayer and encounter a giant. So he has trinkets, giant, Troll Slayer. Does he want Troll Slayer? I mean, he can do enough damage to kill a troll. He can't do it fast enough. He would definitely do well with a mace. I mean, no one likes him, so that's going to be rough. But he would really do well finding a mace. Um, I'm actually going to ditch Troll Slayer, and we're going to draw two more cards. I think the vast majority of trolls that we can get on the board aren't going to be conducive to killing, if possible. So instead, we find Lucky Day, which is a reroll, and then he is challenged. So he gets a native, at a random dwelling who has challenged him to a duel. So who is it? It is the 8. It is the top Lancer. So Lancer 3. And where is Lancer 3 going to wait for him? At the small campfires. Ooh, that's dicey. And the reason I say that's dicey is simply because I always hate when these come up. So L3 at S camp. And that's who's challenged him. Okay, I mean, he can't re-roll those other two, so he's going to have to try to seek out the small campfire and go take care of that dude. Last but not least here for quests is the White Witch. And the White Witch ended up with locate the shrine. That's not terrible. Plant your flag and consult demon. So let's take a quick look at plant flag and where that might show up. And that's going to show up in the caves 6. So she has to plant her flag in caves 6, which is there, which is not great. Where the hell is she? Certainly not impossible to get to, but it is a little bit of ways. She's going to have to get to this woods. And maybe then enchant those woods to get in there. Locate shrine is fine. Plant flag is fine. Consult demon is sort of okay. Does she have any chits that would be... Yeah, good question. So anyway, I think we're keeping those. I think we're gonna keep those. So there's our quests. Let's get our 3 events, our top 3 events. I need like one more event card because I have 49 cards. It's just it's not a round number. Like, why would you not have a round number, sir? All right, top 3 events. The storm is coming. Well, that sort of sucks. Lost Warlock and a bad bounty. So the storm is coming. So we roll 2 of these. Now it's a 6. So it's 6 days out. No matter what, a storm is coming. So I'm going to copy this card and paste it and shrink the heck out of it. Oops. So on day 6, we've got a storm. And so what does that mean? What that means is you need to be sheltered. Sheltered is lost city, lost castle, any dwelling, the circus, the monastery, the thieves guild, or a cave. If you are sheltered, you get a VP at the end of day 6. If you're not sheltered, you fatigue 1d6 asterisks and forego the VP. The Lost Warlock does appear. I mean, the Warlock appears. He just happens to also be lost. And 2, Cavern 6. Boy, these guys love their caves. Cavern 6, so right there. So there's our Lost Warlock. We need to get him out here and going. And then there's a Bat Bounty. Bat Bounty lasts 2 weeks. And so we will, again, we're going to do the same thing we did for this one. I like having these little markers. I mean, they're big. Obviously, they're slightly too big for the thing, but it does give you a good indicator. Hey, this thing's going to end. When does it end? Even if you can't read it, you go, well, something's ending, right? So I do like that. So okay, I think that's it. I mean, I think we are actually ready for week one. So I'm going to save this game. Customs, overwrite, bam, done. I'm going to stop this video, so I'll make it a setup video so that you don't have to watch me for like 2 hours do this. You can watch me for 20 minutes and then probably an hour and a half. That's it. We'll see you on week one. Have a good evening.